you see from really, really good players is that they know, okay, this is going to be a close fight. I'm going to pull workers anyway. And this is especially true of Zerg because they can redrone so quickly. Just pull those extra workers. It's not drones don't do damage. Or they do a little bit of damage in a fight. But that's not why you pull them. You pull them because they soak up so much damage. They've got quite a lot of HP.
Yeah, certainly against units like Stalkers. I mean, Stalker is an awesome supporting unit, and Stalker is kind of the unit that clears up everything else after a fight. Your Colossus do a ton of damage, the opponent will focus the Colossus, and the Colossus will eventually fall, and then it's all about the Stalkers to clear it up. Like Zealots without charge can absolutely not win a game for you. That's just impossible. In the end of the day, it will get skited. But Stalker are those kind of unit that can just wrap things up, and then can warp in 6, 7, 8 more additional Stalkers. But at the end of the day, Stalkers do not have that much DPS, which is obviously a good thing, otherwise they would be kind of imbalanced after all. So it's already a really good unit. And that's what you mean as well, Ben. When you pull those drones, they soak up the damage. Stalkers really do not kill drones all that quick. And yeah, you're able to maintain so many additional volleys of those Stalkers just by using your drones. And obviously, if you're a perfect player, then you actually pull your drones back just before they fall, which is really, really tough. But Killer is somehow doing it quite often.
Yeah, and it gives so much more life to the rest of your army. And so I mean, nice play from him there on Metalopolis. Game number 3 going to be on Shakur's Plateau, and this is a map that I think is in general pretty decent for toss. Okay, there's that spawning pool. I saw the spawning pool on the production tab, but I didn't see it on the creep. It's up there at the top of the base.
Yeah, it's a relatively early pool for Killer. It was like around the 10 or 11 pool.
Yeah, it was. It was like
overpool.
Yeah, something like that. I'm reading this as if he wants to expand around 18 supply, something like that.
I feel this is like the kind of build where you want the Protoss to open up with a couple of cannons. You want him to throw down that gateway before the Nexus. While meanwhile you actually have the backup plan, because obviously when you go for such an early pool, you're gonna have a really quick queen as well. And as soon as you have the queen down, so you will still be able to produce quite a few drones. So even though right now he's mining a little bit less than he normally would, as soon as the queen kicks in, he will, and he's probably going to be able to balance things out when he forces Gated to use money on those cannons and on those gates.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like this opening here on Shakur's because he has forced an investment from Gated. I honestly wish he had made like less lings, 4 lings or 2 lings. Wow, catching that probe, that's really nice.
Yeah, probe actually trapped right now between those 2 lings. Everything what Killer is doing here makes perfect sense. I do feel that Gated is kind of like taking the bait over here, though. Like, is it really worth it to have that gateway before your Nexus? And you shouldn't forget, like, it might seem like a small thing, but the difference is so big. Oh, exactly. Want to wipe in a second gate as well, which means that the Nexus is going to be even later. And I really feel that Killer is quite pleased with the situation of how things are evolving right now. I mean, it's 15 drones against 18 probes. The Nexus is getting wiped in right now as well, but we see the hatchery going up. And yeah, in any case, when the Zerg is getting the hatchery on a map like Shakur's on the exact same moment as Protoss gets his Nexus, it's a pretty good scenario.
Yeah, this is going to work out really well for Killer. He's got I mean, obviously he sees the forge and the cannon, so he's thinking there's an expansion there. He's not 100% certain, but it's a 99% chance that there's a Nexus right there. Very unlikely that Gator would mix it up with anything else. So Killer's going to be able to say, he's going to play this probably, if I were Killer, I would just expand again right here. He's actually getting gas. Which I question a little bit, but I still think he'll take a relatively quick third base and just continue droning up really, really hard. Cybercore does finish up for Gator. He'll be able to start that warp gate and start moving towards whatever kind of tech he wants to add in the later stages of this game.
Oh, I just tried to fix our scoreboard. As everyone you can see, it's just 1-1 right now. We just started with this best of 5. Hopefully we're going to see a nail-biting 3-2 series. So far the games have been quite entertaining. Perhaps a couple of mistakes here and there, but it's been fun. It's been close games, and it's been 2 guys who seem to be relatively evenly matched. And that's something that I haven't really seen all that much at the Inter-Extreme Masters here in New York. We had a lot of games. I mean, we have so many top players, and it feels like the skill difference between those absolute top guys and the guys who are just a little bit below it seems to be really quite big now and then after all.
Yeah, absolutely. There's certainly a separation from the very, very top guys, and then just the other guys that are pretty good. But I mean, I've said this before too. I think below the very, very, very top level, maybe the Dongregu level, I think it's quite close. I think the comparison between players like Killer, TSL Killer, the Korean Killer, to players like
Mana, Sasa, and Anima.
Yeah, I think they're incredibly close, and I think foreigners are on that level, even above that level.
Kind of agree with you as well. We do see those Zerglings clearing up one Zealot over here. Gated is walking around. He tried to make like a little bit of a Zealot push, as we see quite often lately, trying to take out that third hatchery, but there is actually no third hatchery yet. killer is supply capped and quite badly. I mean, a 44 and a 44 is going to take at least 10 more seconds before that overload pops. And yeah, he has quite a bit of lava setup as well. I don't know, it's like, well, it's not flawless.
Yeah, far from flawless. He is able to fill up he makes up that supply pretty quickly because of the larva.
Oh, a dark shrine is actually going up over here in the main base.
Choice. Really interesting choice, and I'm not that crazy about it given the layer timing from Killer. Gator doesn't actually know that there's no third base here from Killer. He lost those zealots on the ramp, so wasn't actually able to scout whether or not there's a hatchery there. So he's playing as if his opponent is on on 3 base playing a normal macro style, whereas Killer is sitting on 2 base. He's going to have detection. He's going to play the same Infesterling we saw in the first game.
In the previous game, I haven't really seen that many Spore Crawlers of Killer though, so perhaps it makes a little bit of sense. Now Gated is supply capped as well at 44 supply, and he's whopping in 3 pylons at once, which obviously is not the way you want to play. He's getting charged as well, so it might actually just see like a dKiLLeR into Zealot Archon.
Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. It's a pretty decent build, and it's going to be really good against Infesterling.
You used to think it was overpowered until we saw Stefano.
I think Stefano is overpowered.
Oh, it was Dima as well. I mean, the Zealot Archon is an absolutely awesome build, and I'm not going to say that it's not. You can do a lot of damage with it, but I do feel that you kind of rely on, once again, that your opponent is making mistakes rather than that you can really push yourself to the limit trying to make those awesome moves, because you can't. The only thing you can do is just warp in a ton of units and go for it, send in with the basically it's A-click, make sure that all of your units fight, try to get like a good engage, but that is pretty much it. There's nothing else you can do. While I feel that as a Zerg player, it's all in your hands if you can actually properly defend that or not.
Who is the European Protoss player who does that 2-base Zealot Archon all in?
It was the Bulgarian guy, my friend, Blask Kalin. Unique Kalin.
Okay. Yeah. He beat Idra with that
yes.
in like NASL or
I know, it's Kalin. He's an awesome guy. Big shout out to Kalin. I'm not sure if he's listening or not, but yeah, he's a really cool guy.
It's a good build, man.
He's a good Protoss player.
It's a really good, tough to deal with build. It's certainly beatable. A lot of spine crawlers going down here from Killer as he sees this push coming across the center of the map. The first infestors are about to pop out, and that's going to make these DTs pretty useless.
Yeah, indeed. This hatchery is probably going to fall down. I don't really see how Killer is going to be able to protect it, since we do not actually have a single overseer on the map. I'm really a little bit worried right now. We do see, well, we have a lot of spine crawlers, we have infestors, but we don't actually have like real detection over here.
Yeah, but I mean, the infestors will be able to hold everything down until an overseer.
I don't think he should actually send in like all those gateway units. Fungo could actually land right now, and that would mean that he's gonna lose all of those zealots. And now Fungo was going to reveal the Dark Templars as well. I do feel this is like a terrible engagement by Gated.
Yeah, really bad engagement by Gator. Loses a lot of units there, just basically donating them for free.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to send in your gateway units. It's not like you can bust through 4 or 5 spine crawlers, and the Fungo, which he was obviously going to throw down on those zealots. He's like, hey man, 3 zealots is awesome. Oh wait, what? You have Dark Templars as well? Okay, let me Fungo those bad boys again. I really think Gated could have done so much more damage. I mean, you know how hard it is to spot Dark Templars if you actually do not have detection. Sure, if you really look at the spot, you're going to see them. But in a moment like this, Killer is probably macroing, he's sending overlords in position, he's sending Zerglings all around the map. That you really wonder, like, why would you attack like that? Why would you not try to get the Dark Templars in secretly, send one to the main base, send one to the natural, and before you know it, 10 drones are dead.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. I just think that was a bad engagement in general. Attacking into spines is really tough with such a small gateway force. Little DT harass down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Overseer is going to get there, but not before the actually the hatchery getting canceled there. So Killer staying on top of things. He's also expanded up in the top right-hand corner of the map. Interesting choice.
Yeah, that one surprised me a little bit. I'm not sure why he would expand over there instead of over here. I guess it's more like the hidden base, like the Ninja expand. Perhaps he's just going to use it for extractors, even though I don't really feel that he has a gas problem right now. So I guess he doesn't really need to. I'm not too sure, but I would be surprised if he's actually like going to try to transfer drones over here. That would seem a little bit unusual.
Yeah, really fast hive coming out from Killer, who's going to run into a couple Archons there. That's not a fight you want to make. Zergling Infestor is pretty decent, especially when you're 2, 3, 4 base against only 2. But Gated is securing another expand, and Lings are not very good against Archons, especially Archons with attack upgrades.
Well, that's race completed right now, the right top side of the map. Though. We see a couple of additional cannons going down for Gated. I love this little Ling over here by Killer. It's always nice. I mean, it's so annoying. Okay, this time the Ling won't be able to do much, but whenever you can try to snipe one of those probes, it's annoying for a Protoss player like hell. You just hate it, because we all know Protoss really feels like only comfortable when you're on 3 bases at least and you have a ton of probes. And every single probe you lose, you obviously want to rebuild on, unless you have like a ton of probes, which is like not that common. I'm not sure what killer is going to do with these infestors though, man. He's going to spawn a couple of infested terrors. I don't know. Oh my god, beautiful force fields.
Man, I really don't like this engagement by killer. Wow, he's got so many infested Terrans. We'll have to just wait and see what kind of deep... God, he's got so much energy on those infestors. Wow, that is a ton of infested Terrans, and killer actually going to clean up this army from GoSuGatored.
Taking down those Archons, taking down quite a few Stalkers and Zealots as well. GoSuGatored did realize that there's absolutely no reason for him to fight all of these infested Terrans. I don't know, man. I really thought that was a very questionable engagement. When I saw those force fields, I thought like, wow, this is horrible. Killer is pretty much going to lose the game over here. And wow, those infested Terrans got some DPS.
Yeah, they do. Burrow about to finish up, so he'll be able to do even more shenanigans like that when he's able to burrow those infestors. Like as you said, there's a couple more bases finishing up for killer as well. He's taking gas in the top right and in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Hive is done. Greater Spire about halfway complete as well, and the Corruptors are already popping out. So killer is actually going to be in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, I'm starting to like what I see over here. 4-out Chili Zerg player, of course, representing Team Dignitas, which is an awesome team. And they sell awesome hoodies, by the way, guys. Everybody who ever watched the Dignitas hoodies and felt like, wow, they look really good, I want to have one of those hoodies. Trust me, get them. They're really, really comfy, and they motivate you to play leather a lot.
This is Kevin's way of bragging that he has a Dignitas hoodie.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know how much leather I play when I'm wearing my Dignitas hoodie.
It's like constant.
I know. It's awesome, man. It's a comfortable hoodie. That's all what gaming is all about, bro.
It's a good-looking hoodie.
I know.
I want a Dignitas hoodie.
The boss is here of Dignitas. His name is Odie. He's from England. He's an absolutely awesome guy as well. So perhaps you're able to talk with him. Perhaps you might be able to arrange something.
Yeah, maybe. Warp
I'm
Prison.
loving the EG hoodies as well, by the way. I mean, this is the first time actually I really see EG hoodies.
I didn't know that the EG had hoodies.
Yeah. Like I saw the Counter-Strike guys wearing them. EG Nothing was wearing the hoodie, and it was like an M, and it was way too big for him. But still, the hoodie itself looked really, really cool. Like good material, and obviously like the EG design of the shirts is quite cool in general.
Nice. EG does have some cool gear, some cool swag in general.
Release the Kraken shirts.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to wear my Release the Kraken shirt. So we do have some Warp Prism harass here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Where are these Zealots going? They were going down to the natural, not realizing maybe that hatchery was there.
It's always really hard to defend against harassment. Like, oh, killer is actually pulling drones. I'm not sure if that's like the best idea to fight a lot of charge loads. He just wants to save his hatchery at all costs. A ton of Zerglings arriving, but I do think these Zealots will be able to take down this hatchery.
Yeah, barely falling there. A little bit of an engagement starting to materialize in the center of the map, but the Archons turning around when they realize, oh my gosh, there's a lot of Broodlords there. And now Gator's in his... I don't think he realized that Hive was done for killer. Now he's like, oh crap. Look at all the gateways for Gatored. Holy smokes, son. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
He didn't really group all of them though. He could have had a little bit more in this group. Now he has 12 gates indeed. We see all of these Broodlords beautiful positioning above this high ground over here. That's going to make it really tough for the Stalkers to engage. And I don't know, man. I don't really see where Gator is going to be. He's going to be able to have like a really, really good engagement.
Yeah, he doesn't even have any way of getting vision up onto that high ground right now, so he can't even blink.
Oh, those Broodlord, a little bit exposed. Beautiful blink right there. Snipes up the first Broodlord, and he will be able to take down the remaining two as well. Wow, sloppy by killer, but beautiful by Gator.
Yeah, indeed. But I'm not sure that it matters that much, as killer has managed to kill the third base of Gator. Now Gator once again relegated to only 2 bases. His main almost mined out, so essentially we've got a 1-base Protoss against a like mini base Zerg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base Zerg right now.
Quite a few drones over here on the right top side of the map as well. I mean, killer is really showing some awesome patience in games like this. On a certain moment, I really feel like I would be relatively worried about the Protoss death ball, what people always talk about. It seems like killer really has quite a bit of patience. He does go with his like sort of odd infested timings, and they're obviously not meant to win the game, but it's all about slowing down the Protoss.
Yeah,
you know, like
he cuts that army size down once again. Makes it so Protoss needs a few more cycles before they can really push or do anything aggressive.
Yeah, both players exactly at 77 workers right now, but the biggest problem is for Gator that he's basically having 77 workers mining on 1 base. Since his main is pretty much mined out, he's using those simulators. We do have this base up and running right now though. He just walked in. I just completed. He walked in both of the simulators right now, so that's going to help out a little bit. And he throws up double Stargate. I was kind of waiting for that. I was really wondering, what is he going to do about the Broodlords?
Yeah, I think double Stargate's an awesome choice. Probably going to be obviously going to be Void Rays, because Void Rays are really good against massive units, and they're decent against Corruptors as well. More than decent against Corruptors. They're good against Corruptors. But you know what? Gatored has secured a third. He's got a 4th coming up, and he's got a lot of workers.
And it's a max out Pro Drills. He has a War Princess as well. He has Charge Ult. He has pretty nice upgrades. In general, it's 2-1 right now in the Zealots, which obviously this needs going to try to take out this head to rounds gun. I do not think that this time he will be able to do it, even though it's going to be really close. But beautiful save right there by Killer. If I were him, I'd send over a queen and throw in a couple of transfusions.
I think that's actually what he's going to do. He's sending over 3 queens and throwing down a lot of transfusion. Bunch of spine crawlers going to be thrown up there. Killer says, I don't want to get harassed here anymore. Is that warp prism still out on the map? Where is the warp prism? I wish you could double click on the units tab and it would take you to the unit. That'd be cool.
Wow, I'm going to suggest that to Mark Omens. That would be awesome.
Nice. So anyway, looks like Killer is going to push through the center of the map here, and he has a ton of Broodlords out. 10 Broodlords, only 2 Void Rays on the map right now.
We have 7 infestors as well, and obviously 7 infestors are really, really scary. We have 2 Void Rays, but he's producing 2 more additional Void Rays, and he's only at 900 supply. He's going to wipe in actually 3 Stalkers right now, so Gated is completely maxed out, and I really think he wants to stall the time for those 2 additional Rays, because he really needs them.
Man, Broodlords make it so hard to fight down here in this position. It's just like, really, like normally this is a great spot for Protoss because of the narrow chokes, but with the Broodlords in the fray, it just makes it so difficult to engage. And look at the Queens coming forward to support these Broodlords. I really like this.
Yeah,
move.
I love this as well. Like, transfusion can be extremely effective. You might see a blink over here from Gated. He's going to try to take down one of those Broodlords, but then you see transfuse, transfuse, transfuse. Have you ever seen that game between Stefano and Todd on Sol Naga?
No, but I've seen Demaga do it against the players. And
Mana at Assembly?
Yeah, Dima versus Mana at Assembly, and Cats did it quite a bit back in the day.
No, that like the game between Stefano and Todd was absolutely ridiculous. Like Todd had just had like 2 mining bases, 140 supply, and Stefano was pretty much mined out. He had like 80 supply just of Broodlords and Queens, and somehow he managed actually to win the fight, and a couple of infestors as well. It was an absolutely ridiculous game. I mean, at that moment, people already realized like, wow, this Stefano kid seems to be pretty good at StarCraft.
He's pretty good. Looks like both these guys don't really want to fight right now. Gator just setting up a nice little concave. You're just past the midfield, I guess we'll call it. Broodlords are going to push forward.
A little bit exposed once again. Killer has to be careful, but Gator's just waiting. He is pretty much maxed out. We see a fleet beacon going up, so we might actually see some mothership action out of Gator.
I would like that
quite
a bit.
The infestors a little bit out of position.
Pretty big fungal going down on the Protoss army, but I don't know if it's going to matter. There are a lot of infested Terrans going to get thrown down. That's going to be for the Void Rays. Void Rays are focusing down the Broodlords right now. Nice blink by the Stalkers. Really hard to say which way this fight's going to go.
Oh my god. 6, 7, 8 transfusions on one Broodlord. That's absolutely ridiculous. He killed 7, 8, 9 Stalkers. Now we barely have any Stalkers left. We have a few Colossus left. We have Archons. Wow, did you see that transfusion?
That was incredible, man. That just showing the strength of the burst healing on that Queen. Good game, well played from GoSuGatored.
Man.
And that means Killer's up 2-1.
I mean, I already